the time it gets to the apex, you are so tired with the entire process. So just to share success stories that even now, as we go back to look at the cases where we have not been able to completely remove them out of the system, but we have clients who, when they go back to court, the resolution of disputes, they are no longer, the dispute is no longer as protracted as it was. They no longer tear on each other. It's not as antagonistic as it would get. They have framed issues. When they come to court, they just tell you, my issue is 1, 2, 3, and they treat each other with a lot of decorum, and we are enjoying, despite the fact that they are not, we did not get settlement agreements, but we are getting litigants who now are able to litigate in the adversarial manner their cases in a very fast, as compared to when there's so much delays that we see in the many applications that come in. The other bit that we also share in terms of the objectives is to have, to promote the principle of self-determination. We've been told as Kenyans, I think one of the biggest threats we make with each other is what? Tukutane kotini, sindio? Yeah, so when things get bad, the threat is tukutane kotini. So just changing that narrative, that we can have resolution of those disputes that we have by ourselves proposing, or the solutions actually lie with us. We have, I think our slogan in Quarter Next Mediation is, it's a solution by you for you. And of course, affording our clients a different experience, because when we are having the rulings and the judgments, most likely, in most cases, it will favor one side, isn't it? And there'll be a winner and a loser. And the other challenge that we also have with these cases is you have a judgment on paper, but execution becomes something completely different. So we have files which, according to us, as we're looking at them in terms of the quantity, it is a concluded case, judgment is there, it is a closed file, but the clients are still coming to court following up for that judgment. You have a decree on paper, you have an order on paper, but execution becomes difficult, because what does the other party do? They push and pull. Like you think you won, let's see how you succeed. So the execution process becomes very tedious. It takes up a lot of our time in court. You look at the cost lists that we have, the hearings are usually very few, isn't it? If you look at the cost lists. And the matters that are up there are so many, and they take up so much time. By the time you're through with a call over to come and hear, those substantive cases that actually offer now the resolutions, or the, we call them the settlements, the time is very little. So for us to see a national conversation around this, to see ICC, and we congratulate you, Senior Ogola, and the ICC team for the journey that you have made right through to where we are. I think I would go on and on if I had an opportunity to talk about mediation and the success stories that we have, and what is it that we'd like all of us to share. But we have a speaker who we are hoping will be able to rally us up, and if we are to leave with a declaration here, which I'm requesting, is that all of us are saying we are going to be ambassadors of mediation, isn't it? So congratulations to the teams. We wish the very best to the team that will carry the flag. You will be representing all of us that are here, and you have our blessings. We are ready to work with the teams, and congratulations also for the judges that you had. It's such an honor to participate, and people who we have seen set up give up a lot of their time to just see that mediation has grown to where we are. I am very excited, and I share the excitement of Nazarene in hosting this, and if that sums up, I don't know if there's anything else you'd have. The judiciary extends, is it more like a network to the teams that have participated, the 4 teams? We'd like to pick up conversations with you, afford you an opportunity to come and see what we are doing at the Quarter Next Mediation Secretariat, and We are happy to also visit your institutions and you get to issue the orders in terms of when you'd like us to come so that we come and further this conversation further and infect the spirit of ADR and mediation to the rest of the fraternity. Pongezi sana.
Asante. And you can also bring some mediation to our moot court here so that we, isn't that possible? So that we see it in real life situation. Yes. Our next speaker is Mr. James Mangere. Karibu. Karibu.
Asante sana. My name is James Mangere, right? That's my right name. Thank you. I'm proud to see so many of my students in this competition today. Well, I happen to be in different organizations. In fact, I'm in the international panel, United Nations International Panel of Mediators. I'm saying this because I want to encourage young mediators also to come up. I also sit as a board member of the International Mediation Institute, IMI, in the Netherlands. I represent this side of Africa. I'm also a distinguished fellow of the International Academy of Mediators. That's 200 top mediators in the world. So isn't that an encouragement to young mediators? So that you also strive as much as possible to get to that particular position. So, thank you very much for inviting us to be judges. I've been a judge in so many moot court competitions. I think this year I've been in the Pepperdine University moot court competition, University of Colombo, that's in Sri Lanka, and many others. And every time that I watch young people mediate, it makes me happy that we are growing. In fact, the standards of what I saw here today compared to what I see in other international fora, you are very far above. I think Mr. Ogola has told you because he has also charged in so many forums. This was very good. And what we are encouraging people to do is to learn more lawyers, to learn to become mediators. I used to teach at Kenya School of Law students when they were about to leave, those ones who are doing the ATB program. I used to teach them in mediation. And most of them graduated from there being professional mediators. And most of them are people who are doing a lot of mediation in the country right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't practice law. I've been practicing law for the last 20-something years. But I can tell you there is a beauty in seeing people agreeing, people who are in turmoil, walking away in peace. It's more than money. Because if it's about money, there are people that have trained, like the Honorable Kenneth Marende, the former Speaker of the National Assembly, who was appointed to go and mediate a dispute in the Central African Republic. You are paid $10,000 a week, right, for mediation. So if it's money, it's there, but that's not the purpose why we do mediation. There's a beauty of doing mediation, which is a little bit different. There's something that you enjoy from mediation. And also, even for students, you know, it doesn't require you to complete your degree before you start practicing mediation. If you are trained as a mediator, you start practicing immediately. I'm sure the courts don't look at what kind of, they look at the certification and the experience you have if you have gone through mentorship. So get yourself moving. Let's assist our courts to make this mediation a reality. I've been working very hard with the courts since the time of inception, since the time of the pilot program, trying to come up with systems that can ensure that mediation, court-annexed mediation works in this country. And I'm working very hard as much as possible to ensure that I train more mediators because I train worldwide. I train in English, Spanish, and in French. That's why I'm all over the world teaching mediators. I've trained almost 7,000 mediators by now, who I can say are practicing all over the world, and some of them are very good mediators. So I'm encouraging you to come out and promote mediation within our country. Because, you see, every time I realized the other day, they wanted to appoint a mediator to resolve a dispute in the Copper Belt, and they were looking for a mediator from UK. Why? And yet we have mediators here who can do that job. So anytime we have mediators, there's a requirement of professional mediators in the country, we should be able to look within ourselves, because I know there's talent. I realize that there are some people here trained in 2018 and they are very good mediators right now and they are practicing mediation. Just keep that flag up every time. We can. Yes, we can. So don't look outside for mediators. We have very good mediators within who can manage our disputes within the African continent. And we look forward to growing the young caliber of mediators who are here so that at least we can be able, most countries have gone ahead of us. In fact, if you go to the United States, you will not be allowed to file your case in court unless you give a certificate in some states that you have gone through mediation. We almost came up with a policy like that, and I'm sure we are heading there. That people will be required to, first of all, attempt mediation. If it fails, then you know what? Then you are given an opportunity of approaching the court. So that at least we have very few cases in court, very few cases in court, and very many cases in mediation. So thank you very much. This is what we want, and everybody who thinks about something else, this is the real thing, isn't it? It's a better option of resolving conflicts. Thank you very much, the organizers, and thank you for inviting us to this place. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, James Mangerere, isn't it? Asante. And apology for butchering your name. Thank you for the encouragement. We say that a student should be better than their teacher. And that is the challenge that the mediation guru has given us, that he envisioned you to do better than even him. Asante. At this point now, our last keynote speaker is our DVC Academia, Professor Rodney Reed. Professor Rodney Reed, where do I start? Maybe from the beginning. He's a professor of theology, but he's a philosopher, and he has been friend of the law school. Whenever we have knocked on his door, he has been very available. So karibu professor, and give us your remarks. Let's clap for him.
Thank you, Dr. Ojwang. On behalf of our Vice Chancellor at ANU, Dr. Stanley Bebe, and the entire ANU community, I am just so happy to have the opportunity to welcome you and to have reflected with you on this experience in this first Pan-African Commercial ICC Mediation Court moot competition. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it? What a privilege. This really has been impressive for me to take in this final round of the competition, and from what I'm understanding, the whole process was of a similar caliber as what we were seeing here today. I want to really thank especially the Law School of African Nazarene University, our dean, our chair, and other faculty and the students who have helped to make this happen. Thank you. I guess I'm not the one giving the vote of thanks, but I know there's an investment of time and commitment from our panel of judges, the mediators, the timekeepers, all of the support personnel to make this happen, even those on the soundboard and everywhere else around the university to help facilitate this to happen. And this is where experiential learning is taking place in events like this, so that it's not just theoretical knowledge that we're dumping into students' minds in the classroom, but they're actually getting the opportunity to practice skills that will be used out there in the real world. So thanks to all of you who have had a part in this, especially to the International Chamber of Commerce Global Organization and to the organization here in Kenya. Thank you for being the overall sponsor of this whole event and for thinking of this and bringing it to Africa, to making certain it's taking place here on our continent, and that Africa is represented in these global places, these global venues, these global opportunities. Let me just say a word about mediation, I guess. And you know, Dr. Ojwang said he's a storyteller. I guess I've got my story to tell. Huh? Many years ago, 2006, I was involved in a traffic accident. I was an interim pastor of a church. As he mentioned, I'm a theology professor. I'm an ordained minister. And I was the interim pastor at a church, the Church of the Nazarene, right on Gong Road, next to Coptic, between Coptic and Baptist. And I went to Baptist church for like a pastor's meeting, and I came out, finally got out on the road during some heavy traffic, and bang, car accident. Right? So I went to Kibera Court 12 times to try and resolve this and prove my innocence. And then 2 more court cases in Milimani Court as well. And it was all quite an ordeal. I'd only been here just a few years, and so wasn't sure what to make of this whole legal situation, the legal scene in Kenya, and felt like, okay, I better play this very straight, hired a lawyer to probably save myself from a 5,000 shilling fine or something like that, and ended up paying a pretty high price to find my innocence finally validated in the court process. What a great thing it would have been if back then I could have made use of some of these people around this table up here, huh? Isn't it? But I had the money to go out and hire my legal counsel, and I was glad for that. But not everybody has that, do they? And so I think one of the great things about mediation is it makes somebody, even I think it was our judiciary representative, makes this more accessible to the poor and the marginalized of our society and the people who can't afford some of the justice that we often talk about with our platitudes. And so I really want to encourage our law students here at ANU, but all of you are probably law students in your respective universities. I think maybe there's a temptation once you get out there and you're starting to practice that the dollar signs or the shilling signs will begin to flash, and you'll want to steer people towards the formal process, go through the courts, pay me the money, right? But I want to encourage you. Your pursuit is 2 things: justice and reconciliation. Justice and reconciliation. And maybe the court process certainly has its important role to play. We need that. And we need good legal professionals. But the mediation route, I believe, has its place. And I'm so glad that it is being championed by such great voices here today. And so, please, make certain that in your career, you young lawyers here, that you make a place for this in your portfolio and in your practice and your service to humanity and to society. I want to say a word then about Pan-African. And essentially, it is this, that we just had a conference here last week at ANU, and the theme of that conference, it was an international research conference, people presenting their papers and all the research that they've been doing, and the theme of it was something like, I'm paraphrasing, transforming Africa through local solutions, a new paradigm for research, innovation, and development, something along that line. And everybody was focusing on finding local solutions to our problems. And I believe there's a great value in that. Globalization has its place, has an important role, and I don't think we can turn back the tide of globalization and the networking, the flat world that we now live in. with the kind of communication technologies that we have, to a certain extent, there's no going back. But finding those local solutions to those problems that we are experiencing here is an important part of this process. And so as you're engaging, especially the winning team that is going to Paris to compete in this competition, represent Africa well. Amen? Oh, yeah, I'm not preaching, right? But represent Africa well in this competition. Let them see that we here in Africa have the stuff, that we can compete in the global environment, and that in this kind of international, and I'm assuming that's somewhere in the background of all of this international chamber of commerce and the need for mediation across borders and across geographical boundaries, that there's often this idea that the tables or the scales are weighted in favor of the global north against the global south, right? And so that's why we have an especially strong reason to excel in these areas. And when we get this kind of an opportunity to go and participate in a competition like this, we really want to make that moment shine and make a difference so that the world will know that Africa has arrived on the scene and should not be taken advantage of in any of these kind of processes. So congratulations to everybody. I agree so much with what Dr. Ojwang has said, that it's not so much in the winning and losing, but it's in the participation. It's in the being a part of the process. Just think of the skills that were on display here and throughout this whole time. I was just trying to think of them in my mind as I was seated down there. Professionalism, poise, effective communication, emotional intelligence, thinking on your feet, thinking critically, being able to sell something convincingly, argumentation. All of these skills and so many others that I'm just not thinking of right now are useful not only for your career, but useful in life. And so I want to encourage, especially our ANU students, if you're even just a participant here, you're not even a law student maybe, take advantage of any kind of opportunities similar to this for your program, whatever you're studying, but especially for our law students. Get involved in stuff like this, because this is when you have the opportunity to develop yourself and to make yourself ready for the world that's out there. This is, as I said earlier, experiential learning, where you're developing your skills for life. So thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who's participated in it. God bless you.
Thank you very much, our DVC academic, for the team that is going to represent Africa. In anticipation, can we clap for them? I'm avoiding using the word that you are as good as them. For the 14 years I stayed in the US, the word that I hated most was when somebody telling me, even though you are an African, you are as good as them. It means they are the standard, and I can only be as good as them. How about if I'm better than them? Right? So I remember asking this classmate of mine, why do you think you are the standard? That I can only be as good as you. So go there, because not just that you can be as good as them, but because mediation, arbitration is naturally African. This is where Africans thrive. We arbitrate even things that are unarbitratable. In the 60s and 70s, if you read the scholarship on mediation, the likes of Professor Kothogendo had suggested mediation. And of course, like any other idea that comes from Africa, it was rejected by the same African scholars. It is a shame that it had to go to Europe first, find endorsement, get packaged, so now somebody can stand and say, I'm an international mediator. Forget Njurinjeke, forget what we are doing here, and that is a challenge for us as scholars, that we don't know what we have. That we actually, mediation by the 60s and 70s, the debates, 80s, was why don't we teach mediation in law school? One professor told me in University of Nairobi, everybody said that is for village elders. Today, if you go to University of Nairobi, I'm a mediation lecturer because it has gone to Europe, packaged, suited well. Now it is there with Kisungu Mingi. So mediation is naturally what? We mediate. The last mediation will be between us and our stomach as we drink tea. But we mediate everything. So I want to recognize faculty. And we have this tradition, by the way, if you have been coming to Nazarene Moot Court, once you are here, you are our student. I don't care. The question I asked even this morning, Ogola, was the adjudication fair? Yes. End of story. Because what is the difference between a student here or Catholic or UON? Tomorrow we meet in the same profession. You are mentored by the same teachers. You go to the same law school. So if you are faculty also, it is our duty to work together. So if you are a faculty in this room, please could you rise up so that we can recognize you? Any faculty of law, maybe? Faculty of Law. Yes. Yeah. If you are a coach, also be upstanding. From which law school? Strathmore? Ayub was the coach for Nazarene team, and you know Ayub had his scholarship from Moot Court. Am I missing somebody? Colbert. Why are you standing like that? It's end of month, so I know you are very happy. Nyatundo, Dr. Nyatundo, our lecturer. Yes, from which law school? From Kabarak. Kabarak is in the house. Can we clap for her? Senior Ogola from Kabarak and practice. Yes, at the back. From University of Nairobi. All right. Asante. So, anybody else, you are not faculty, but you feel like you are faculty-ish? Faculty-ish? Huh? Right? Anybody who feel, hii kitu hata kama sio faculty? Yes? Okay, we have, you know, when I was in class 8, we spoke to people who had gone to Form 1, and they told us, when you get to Form 1, there is no standing when the teacher comes in. So then we discussed as class 8 and said, since we only have a few months to go to Form 1, we are not going to be, good morning, Mr. So-and-so. No, we are going to be seated. Of course, you will not want to know what happened to us after that, but we were practicing. So greet us on behalf of the upcoming faculty. Yeah. All right. Yes. She desire. Finally, because I'm looking at agency. You know, agency. That some of us students don't have agency. You tiptoe towards the room. You don't want to be recognized. You don't want to be identified. And you are in law school. And you want to be a lawyer. And you expect that the first day you'll go to court and say, excuse me, Your Honor, I'm Duncan Ojwang, may it please the court. But you are always running and you are tiptoeing around people. I read a book called The Miseducation of Negroes, and it is saying this, that the miseducation we had is that for people who have been colonized, like me and you, we always look for a backseat. And if there's no backseat, we create a backseat. How many, if you came here early, you'll find people moving chairs from up here to go sit at the back. You know me ni kukaa huko nyuma. It's something in the mindset. So while others run in front, somebody who is colonized is running to the, it's actually painful to watch, even in churches. People move back, rear back, and if you watch how other people sit, those who have not been colonized, they move to the front. And it shows something about where we are. So develop agency. Agency means that you have human action. I'm here. Don't be even afraid to cough. When you are there, let people know that you are here. Not those things you do in high school saying, so-and-so was here from this year and this year umeandika kwa loka, but nobody can remember you. You cannot be faceless. You cannot be intelligent, yet you are a lawyer. Secretly, I'm a lawyer, by the way. No, you have to shout it. So we are ready for the final part. And if we don't get another chance, we want this to be a ritual. You know, ritual is more powerful than a culture. Ritual means that every year we will know by November we're in Nazarene for our ritual of Pan-African Commercial ICC Mediation Moot Competition. Isn't that a good thing? Asante.
Thank you, Prof. Daktari, for that session that you've handled. As a sign of appreciation, we had prepared a certificate of participation for everybody who participated. I will be issuing the one for the judges and the mediators. David Omondi. Josephine Cairo. Julie Kamolo. Laureta Nanchoka. Lois Warwingi. Margaret Jenga. Maureen Jerry. Muna Abdurrahman. You can share the height with Mangerere. Quincy Otieno. Rupert Lipton. Sam Nyamo. And for the students, we'll be calling a representative of each university. Anu, African Nazarene University. Catholic University. Checkers. Strathmore University. Cabrock University. And lastly, Nairobi University. And now the time has come for me to announce the winners of the competition. As I was telling you before lights went off, all of us were fidgeting and we couldn't see or say where it was heading. Even listening to the judges' comments, it's not very easy. It wasn't very easy to see where it was going. Even for those who are listening, I'm quite sure it wasn't very easy to see where it was going. Both teams were very good. They prepared well under difficult circumstances. But at least one team has to win. The runners-up for the first Pan-African Commercial ICC competition is
Drum rolls.
Strathmore University. I will call the DFC to present the certificate. Yeah.
Wow.
The students, please. Plus the coach.
They are shocked. They're like, what? How? Strathmore, should I take a photo? Not really. Hey, they are surprised. Hey, Kabarak, you are dangerous people.
Yeah, you take a photo. You'll take one photograph with all of them.
Nazarene. No comment. Strathmore. So Kabarak is going to Paris. Do you have space in your university? I want to transfer. I am tired of Nazarene now. I solemnly swear to join Kabarak with all my heart, to go to Paris.
The coach.
Woo! Yeah. Congratulations. Strathmore.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And my crush is there.
No.
I've changed my crush now.
And finally, the winners of the first ICC Pan-African Mediation Moot Competition is Kabarak University.
Kabarak.
Some music for them.
These are my friends. Hi. Even the guys that do not participate. Say they are working confidently. Paris, here we come. Oh, let me stay with the winners. They move, we move. Thank you very much. Nazarene, are you paying attention? Sorry, let me stay behind you. We are all winners.
Yeah, you share. Nani very forgot and prepared only for. But the others have been prepared, they're coming.
Yeah. Hey, cameraman, wait. No. Personal. DJ. Now let us join the winning team. Let me stay close to the trophy. Sorry. Hey. It's not easy.
Thank you.
Team Kabarak. Woo! We are going to Paris.
I have the scorecards with me here. I would invite both teams immediately after this. You can visit the coordination desk and just go through the results and satisfy yourself how the scoring was done. I think that will be all from me. I'll call upon Madam Tabitha to close for us.
Thank you so much, Gordon. We still have some more gifts that we would like to give out. If I can ask Dr. Ojwang to assist me here kindly.
With
to give out some
gifts.
gifts.
Before we give out gifts, the lady from Kabarak, are you single? Just in case you want to go to Paris together.
So, we would like to give out some gifts to our distinguished judges who have come all the way here to assist us. Allow me to request Honorable Kendago to come up here kindly. We have something small for you.
She doesn't need it. She's an honorable. She's fine financially. Give it to us, the young ones.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
All right.
In case you don't need the gift, you can give it back.
Fantastic. And then next, would like to invite Mr. James Manguere to come up, please, kindly.
$10,000. Thank you, sir. The coach, $10,000 is not after money, it's after passion.
And the last gift we have is for the man behind the vision. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly give a big round of applause to Mr. Gordon Ogola. Thank you so much.
Mr. Gordon. Hey. You're giving the owner of the competition a gift. It's like giving KFC chicken.
Yeah, no, I think the efforts really, this has really taken quite a lot, and there's so many people behind it. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to really close the event, so allow me to take just 5 minutes to do a quick vote of thanks to everyone who's been involved. So the first vote of thanks is for our sponsor, and that is Gordon Ogola and Kipkoech Advocates. And can we give a round of applause to that law firm? And our host, African Nazarene University. They have provided us with the rooms. They have fed us for the last 3 days. We're so grateful to them. Our other partner that has really assisted us with providing judges for the event, that is the Dispute Resolution Hub. I think the mediators and the judges who work with the DR Hub, if you can kindly just rise and wave so that we know who you are. Next time we will know which faces to go to when we have a matter. Kindly, if you're from the DR Hub, just stand up and wave.
Oh, they can't hear you. DR Hub. Oh. Hey, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Our other partner was the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA. We do have some representatives from KEPSA. They have assisted us with media. They've assisted us with communications, and of course, the logistical support as well. Thank you so much to the KEPSA team. The participating universities, we know that some of you had your students coming. I've seen buses out there in the car park, so some guys have traveled from quite far. So we have Daystar University, we have Jomo Kenyatta University, Strathmore University, Kabarak University, and of course African Nazarene University and the University of Nairobi. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time. Of course, we have our judges and coaches, and especially, I don't want to forget to mention the student volunteers. I'm told that there were 10 student volunteers from ANU. Kindly, can you stand up so that we recognize you guys? Fantastic. Thank you. We really appreciate these volunteers. These were the guys who would put out signs for the rooms. They would direct everyone who came. They would hand out water during the sessions. They've worked hard, so we really appreciate you guys. We hope that you'll still be willing to participate, whether you're up here or through volunteering. So we're so grateful for that. And we also have, I know that we've talked about the ANU faculty. There are two ladies that whose names were mentioned, and they've really been fantastic. And I think that without them, we really could not have pulled this off. That is Judy and Juliana. I don't know if they're here, but if they are, kindly just give a wave. perhaps they might have stepped out. Yeah, so they're the ones who've been behind some of these conversations about how to set up this event for today. I think the last team, and I'm sure the ICC Kenya team will let me know if I've forgotten anybody else, but last but not least, the ICC Kenya Secretariat team. So we have Leod, we've got Shine, and we've got Mary Sharon. Kindly stand up, guys, so that we know who you are. Yeah, so these guys have worked hard. As Gordon mentioned earlier, there's been a short period of time to put together this event, and they've sent out letters, emails, messages, calling us, and asking questions to the entire ADR Commission team as well. So thank you so much, guys, for organizing this and providing that assistance. That was my final one, but I've just remembered also I need to recognize the ICC arbitration that's headquartered in Paris. We do have the regional director for Africa, Ms. Diamana Diawara. She is also a great support to us here. Of course, everything that we wanted to do for this event, including sending a team to Paris, she had to have those communications at that level. The team who will be going to Paris will have a fantastic time with her. So she's a great support to ICC Kenya, so I'd like to recognize ICC Paris team. And of course recognize the ICC Kenya team. We have the Arbitration and ADR Commission. Our chair is Mr. Alim Visram, and the vice chair is Mr. Nikhil Desai. They both send their apologies. They would have loved to be here with you guys, but they've been watching on the links that were sent out, and of course they're very much aware of everything that's been happening. So without further ado, we can close this event. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And also our MC for the jokes. I really laughed. I really laughed. Thank you so much for that.
You're very well.
I'm so glad you didn't pick on me, though, so I'm going to get off the stage now.
Thank you very much. Now, to the most important part of the most competition is the food now. Everybody, to the judges, the panelists, and the participating universities. How do I explain this to you? Can I get a Nazarene student to lead them to the cafeteria? To the staff cafeteria on my right. Kindly. So to the Nazarene students, just go back to your hostels. It's been a pleasure. Oh yes. Before we leave, let's believe and pray. Let's believe and pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you. Lord, we worship you. We give you praise. Thank you for the grace to start this competition and to end it, O King of Glory. As we have chosen our winner to go and represent us globally, we ask that you give them the grace to go and do their best, O King of Glory. We love you and we honor you as we are going to eat. As we go back to our respective universities, we ask for journey mercies, O King of Glory. We ask that you bless us with your blessings and see us through, King of Glory. For in Jesus' mighty name we are giving thanks and prayed. Amen. Thank you very much. God bless you.